In today's video, we talk about when it's time to stop reverse dieting.
All by myself.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com, and today's video is kind of a response to a comment I got. You see, I recently did a video called When Is It Time to Stop Cutting? And in that video I kind of discussed what are some of the signs and things you should look for that tell you that, you know what, maybe it's time to stop focusing on fat loss and change direction. You know, whatever's best for your overall goals, health, well-being, that type of thing. So then someone commented, could you do a video on the same thing but for reverse dieting? And for those that are not familiar, if you're watching this video, I kind of assume you are, but the idea of a reverse diet is basically a period of metabolic building, right? Where the intention is to gradually increase calories so that our metabolic rate increases while also keeping weight stable and preventing extra body fat gain. Now, the reason behind this kind of approach is that most of us have what I consider an underperforming metabolism. As we go through periods of dieting and fat loss, our metabolisms adapt. And so what we want to do is kind of put ourselves in a position where we can reverse that trend. I did a video called Your Diet Age, and it basically discusses, you know, the trend over the last, 30, 40 years in American nutrition is to really focus on fat loss. And we don't really have a problem with fat loss. Everyone thinks that that's the issue. The issue is actually body fat regain. The real issue there is every time you go through a fat loss phase where you restrict calories and you raise your cardio, you are effectively adapting your metabolic rate so that it is a little bit slower, which is completely normal and healthy, and it should happen. But at the same time, when we reach our goal or we end the quote-unquote diet that we were on and we go back to our normal everyday life, then we actually get something called body fat regain or body fat overshooting past where we were previously. And if this is done in a rapid rate, now you can have more body fat than you started with and also have a metabolism that's not as good as it was the first time you dieted. If you think about doing this over and over through a few cycles, well, now you can see how weight loss then becomes a problem, because now we have an adapted situation and we also have more body fat. So it's probably one of the major reasons why we have these issues with obesity or not being able to lose weight. It's a philosophy. It's something through working with clients and kind of paying attention to the world that, you know, I've been made aware of, whatever. So what I want to talk about today is, for those of us that are actively in a position where we are reverse dieting, when should we stop that? When is enough enough? What are some goals and boundaries we should set for ourselves? And as I've been doing this for a few years now, there are definitely some things that I look for and pay attention to, and so I think we can discuss those today. So a target calorie range is kind of a good way to start. What I like to say to my clients is, like, the baseline for calorie intake should be around 15 times your body weight. You know, there's a variable there depending on how much lean body mass you carry, what your BMI is. I'm not worried about specifically like saying that a BMI is good or bad, but you know, how close you are to like your ideal body composition. There may be some differences in there, but 15 times is just a good starting point. I know some people get well below 10 times their body weight when dieting. And then, you know, a ceiling, if you get over 20 times your body weight in calories, you're doing really good. That's a nice intake to maintain your weight on. And that's without cardio. So we're talking about 15 times your body weight with no cardio. So, you know, I do like to keep a little bit of cardio in year round just for overall health and well-being. I know it makes me feel better. But when we're talking specifically about calories, 15 times your body weight at the bottom, 20 times your body weight is a nice number. You know, some people have very good metabolisms and they can get over that. I'm not really worried about saying someone has a good or bad metabolism. I'm not judging that. I'm just saying that's a good range, 15 to 20 times your body weight. Now, what are the signs that we want to look for? Well, one of the benefits of a reverse diet when you're metabolically building is that you're actually just getting your metabolic rate back to where it should have been, or where it potentially could have been your entire life, right? Because you started restricting calories previously. So what we'll see is when we add in maybe 50 calories per week, the scale will remain very stable, right? So with the scale being stable, it's a good indicator that yes, we can continue to add calories. When someone gets their calories up to 15, 17, 19, 20 times their body weight, and they notice that they are no longer able to kind of add calories each week without seeing an increase on the scale, without noticing a little bit of pudge on their body, that's a good indicator that you've kind of reached your metabolic ceiling. And these terms are all kind of philosophical. These are not hard facts, right? These are things that I've learned through coaching and having discussions with people who are a lot smarter than me. But yeah, we all have like a potential, a metabolic potential. And so we kind of want to find that. And once you do find it, and you find you're eating a lot of food and you're able to maintain your weight, that's a really good place to be, because then we can be happy, hormonally, recovering from training, eating enough, not being food obsessed. These are all keys. Now, for someone that wants to lose body fat and they reach a nice metabolic point, I want to encourage everyone to kind of remain there for a little. Don't feel like as soon as you reach a number, as soon as you diet up to 15 times body weight calories, don't immediately start dieting again. You see, your metabolism is still adapting. So one of the great things to do is reach a place and just hold steady. I know for some people, if you're not changing or progressing, it's like you're going backwards, but that's not the case when it comes to like your metabolism, because we want to be able to maintain our calories at a higher level before we diet again. It's not simply just reverse up to a number and then start right away, because again, your metabolism is very dynamic. So all these hormonal processes and changes that are happening in your body, if you keep your calories elevated for a while, they're going to get adapted to that. And that's really what we want before we go through another fat loss phase. A lot of the people that I put through a fat loss phase, the real benefit there is that the next time we diet down on more calories, we have a better time losing body fat. And essentially, we've put all these skills into place so that when we do get to a sticking point where body fat's not coming off, well, we have a plan, right? We know what to do, and we are able to reverse diet out of that again. See, the biggest problem with most diets, if you go on the so-and-so diet, when that so-and-so diet ends, what is your plan? The deal with flexible dieting is that we're no longer calling it a such and such diet. Flexible dieting is basically just the ability to track macros. It's a philosophy where you eat the foods you like on the schedule you like, and it allows you to keep it as your lifestyle. It allows you to make it something consistently over time. So hopefully that helps, guys. These are kind of the things I look for when it's time to stop reverse dieting. I always pay attention to what my clients are saying. If someone tells me that they feel fat, they feel bloated, it's time to start having a conversation about, in fact, losing body weight. The psychology of the athlete is very important. Don't just go by the numbers. You need to pay attention to yourself as well. What's in here is going to impact everything that's here. So if you just feel like you need to go on a fat loss diet, make sure you make an informed decision. But it may be what's best for you if it's what's in your head. All right, guys, this is Paul from ProPhysique.com. I hope you have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.